We're good, right? Missouri?
Missouri.
We're golden.
Thanks for everyone. Like,
Keep it going. Is camera rolling? Keep it golden, pony boy.
is the audio rolling? Audio rolling.
Brady Miller.
Rolling.
What's up, T?
What's up? I'm tired today. I'm feeling it. Do you hear my
tired.
voice?
No, I can't hear your voice.
You can at all?
Remember, you're very soft-spoken.
I know, but it's even gotten lower. I'm thinking,
A big grimy feeling.
yeah, like if I slept 3 hours a night and went pretty hard in the paint, I could have a good country career, and get that low octave. We got Paul Wall. Tall Paul Wall.
That's right.
Polly D in the house.
Pauly D.
They let me out of the showroom today, everybody.
Yeah.
What'd you call him?
Yeah.
Paul Wall?
Yeah, you know Paul Wall, the rapper?
Yeah.
No.
You know?
Oh,
No.
but
Really?
Yeah, we got to get you out more.
Yeah.
No, never heard of her.
Easy. Easy.
Houston's finest.
Easy. Yeah, Tall Paul, we got Cody Boor. Cody Boor's normally behind the switchboard over here. We subbed Omar out, but we got some guests on the podcast today. We're going to do some recaps, some bear hunt recaps. Brady,
You know I love bears.
Brady loves bears.
I'm
The
excited.
bears.
I'm excited.
Yeah, Cody and I actually just literally got back last night about what, 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah. A little tired. A little more out.
Flew into Vegas up this morning. Yeah, we spent a week in Alaska, kind of coastal black bear, hunting from a boat with a transporter. So we'll do a recap of that. You guys got back, what, maybe 2 weeks ago?
Before
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
You
Yep.
guys did a different kind of hunt.
We did.
Also Alaska, though, for black bear.
A
Cody
little bit
killed
more
a
of
good
a.
bear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do a hunt recap and just do some chit-chatting. And Brady's probably got some questions, I could tell. Yeah. Do you want to hit promos first before we get rolling?
Yes. Yes. Hit promos right now. That's a good.
Hit
We're
'em.
only not even a couple
A
minutes
minute
in.
and a half.
30 seconds.
Perfect.
I know I'm on it. I'm a little sharper when I'm less, I've had less sleep.
I don't know if I'm sharp right now, but we'll roll with it.
Yeah, let's get them what they want to know.
Promo. So use the promo code podcast. You can sign up for a GOHUNT Insider account. If you use the promo code podcast, which you should, you're going to get $50 back into the GOHUNT gear shop. $50 you can use towards purchasing any equipment that you want in the shop. Still a lot of time to pick up permits.
Yep.
You'll have online sales going on, or like in person if you want to go to Colorado and buy a tag in July.
And if you're listening to this podcast, you should jump back and listen to the previous podcast where we did go over all the over-the-counter return tags, second draw type opportunities, and kind of broke those down. So you can use your insider membership for that, or insider membership to plan a bear hunt like y'all did.
Yeah, totally doable.
So totally doable.
Very doable.
Totally doable. Yep. You'll have Colorado, I think, is August 2nd. I think those go on sale, I want to say. And then you've got Utah mid-July for OTCL tags. Still like no reason to stay home.
Nope. There's a lot of opportunities out there still. If you don't have a tag, you can get a tag.
Absolutely. SIG. I want to thank SIG as a sponsor. We actually went on this trip with Troy Hellman from SIG.
Yeah. Shout out Troy.
Shout out Troy. Funny dude.
Amazing dude.
But in terms of like equipment for that type of hunt, bear hunting, when you're on a boat a lot and you're constantly moving, you're doing a lot of hiking and walking and just glassing offhand,
Glassing from the boat.
you really cannot beat those SIGs.
Zulu 6s, baby.
Zulu 6s. Yeah, the image stabilization in the thing is a game changer. Talking to the captain of the boat, Garrett, and then anybody that we would talk to, they were all basically saying like this has changed the game.
It's let's just call it's a bino killer. I'm not going to say the brand, but it's a bino killer for some other companies. Like there's a lot of people that are ditching high-end glass and picking up these and then selling their
It's like
$3,500 optics.
It's like when Nirvana came around in the 90s, it just killed the whole hairband scene.
Yeah.
Just killed it overnight. That's kind of what this is happening.
Yeah, it is.
Image stabilized binos are kind of just sweeping.
Yeah. And do people, like we saw, there were some comments on my Instagram post the other day about it, and guys sent me some DMs like, if I could just get over how hideous they look, he's like, they just look like hideous, like the Zulu 6s. But he's like,
I don't think the deer care how your binos look.
that's
They don't
exactly
care.
it.
So,
Yeah, it's like
who
their
cares?
function over fashion, as long as it works and performs well. And I think actually they look cool to me. Like I like the way they look.
Yeah, they fit decent in your hand. All I know is that the stability in those things is incredible. It's legitimately a game changer, and I'm like slow to adopt that kind of stuff. I mean, I still love high end glass, and I like the way that it looks, but in terms of functionality, you can't debate it.
Yeah, just think
Especially when you're on a boat or you're on a horse or you're hiking.
What about when you're
can't debate
stalking a big old mule deer buck? You're shaking because of adrenaline. You're trying to figure out where he's at right there, and all of a sudden you put that stabilize, and then like boom, now you're locked in. Like, oh, now he's right there. I thought he was over here. So now you can stalk a little bit more cautiously because you found that antler tine. Where if you're shaking with your normal binos, you might not see that antler tine, and then keep going. And all of a sudden you blew the buck out of the country.
Yeah, where I really noticed it is like on a stalk. So you're crawling, you got your bow in your left hand, and you're kind of inching that thing out ahead of you. You got an arrow nocked, and you're crawling. Pull out your binos with one hand, and normally if you're glassing with one hand, you're pretty unsteady, right?
Yeah, you're throwing your bow cam or something.
Yeah, you just throw that up, click on the little image stabilization, and things are so clear and so steady. So it makes glassing out, with one hand totally easy and doable. Pretty incredible. Rangefinders are incredible. We got to play with some new stuff, so hopefully,
The new stuff is pretty special.
new stuff is pretty sick.
Well,
Just keeps getting better. Just rolling down. Just rolling. Anyway, so thanks, Sig. Sig, good dudes, good sponsor of the podcast. We appreciate those guys. Let's talk bear hunting.
let's talk bear hunting.
What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about first is I want you guys to go through. I'm going to talk about Paul and Cody here because we'll jump into their bear hunt before we go back to you guys.
Let's do
Your bear
that.
hunt.
Yeah, let's talk about how those guys planned it.
Yeah, that's what I want to know is like logistically, everyone when they go to Alaska, it's like, oh, it seems like it's impossible to plan. How do you get gear up there? How do you decide what to do? Because you like take so many bags. Like, how did you guys deal with flying gear up and just getting all your stuff to Alaska? Like, what was that process like?
How'd you find a spot too? I want to know that. You want to know that?
Originally,
Too many questions at once.
Okay, my bad. That's a classic
logistics.
That's a
first.
terrible interviewer. A guy that asks 10 questions in one
Yeah.
is a bad interviewer. So my apology. My
You got
apologies.
one thing at a time. One thing at a time.
My sincere apologies.
Right, I think of Alaska, it comes to logistics first, spot second.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, because
was the exact opposite.
logistically is a nightmare. I can always find a spot because I feel like I'm really decent at e-scouting.
Gotcha.
But it's like the logistics part I got to plan. Like, how am I going to get there? Like, yeah, sure, I need to know a general area to figure out where the flights go and the flights go. So, like, I get you
Right.
there a little bit.
Yeah.
But, like, logistics is like, be like, oh, yeah, it's too hard to get up there. I'm not going to do it.
I mean,
Or it's going to be so expensive.
logistics wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why I think you want to explain it. Because, like, how'd you guys plan then to get meat back, too? Like,
right?
cooler
So
situation.
what we did first off, freight. Alaska air freight is the way to go. You get signed up as a known shipper through Alaskan Air. They basically do a background check on you. If you have,
How'd you pass that?
well, I was surprised.
Hey.
I had TSA pre-check for years, so they told me to come back real quick. Came back with that, got our known shipping number, and it was about $400 cheaper to ship everything up there than it was to put it on the plane that day when we flew up.
See, that's when I called out that right there.
Right.
So right there, like doing that research saves yourself $400.
Oh yeah,
And that's what people are like, oh, it's so expensive. But like there is ways around this that I think people don't realize that once you dive into it. Like
it's still expensive.
expensive, yeah.
To like,
But it's a dream hunt.
right. But we took a Yeti. Was it 210
250
or 250?
and a
We
105.
took a 250 and a 105 up there, and we freighted Paul's Yeti Pango 100 up there.
Where do you freight those from? You just go down to the
Yep,
airport?
from Alaska Air Cargo down in McCarran.
How much in advance?
So that was the funny part. We'd been told horror stories of like, oh yeah, it'll be on a barge and it'll take 2 weeks to get up there. We get down there to Air Cargo, talk to the lady, and she was like, oh yeah, it'll be there in 2 days. We're just kind of like,
It was on a Monday. We
Yeah,
went
on
down
Monday.
there. Yeah.
so our stuff got shipped up there and just sat there for like 3 weeks.
Yep.
Just because we were so paranoid about it getting lost, and
Yeah.
if it got lost, having the time to replace stuff and all that.
So they say up to 2 weeks. So take precaution, right?
Yeah,
They lost my duffel bag.
Okay.
And then even then they found it in Seattle like within 48 hours and still had it in Wrangell within like 72 hours.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's just, I think, more maybe a customer service thing and their protocols and all that. But even with losing a duffel bag, and we can get into like how to track your stuff too.
Yeah.
But even losing a duffel bag, it still got up there within a week.
So what kind of items did you ship? Were you guys shipping fuel canisters and all that stuff?
So the transport took care of all the fuel canisters. Inside the coolers, I had my backpack, mud boots, just like bulky items that could fit inside the cooler. Waders, yep, fishing stuff, a pillow,
Yep.
you know, just things that were so bulky that we tried to make the flights themselves and what we put on the plane when we got to Alaska or when we got to the airport to fly up. We tried to make that part as cheap as possible.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like maybe ship some like bars and random food stuff because that can be really expensive when you get to Alaska too.
So like to preface, we stayed in a National Forest Service cabin. So the idea of being comfortable was then planted so that people don't think that Cody just randomly ships pillows to places.
I mean,
like you
pillows
could
are nice.
afford to take certain things at this point if you're going to freight things up that you want to take. So if you want to add a bunch of extra food, you can. If you want to take some certain creature comforts, you can, because it was only about what, like $1 a pound
Yeah, it was
to freight it.
89 cents a pound.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's the point I'm trying to paint a picture is flying things up ahead of time is going to save you so much money
100%.
as well, because once you get up there, like everything's expensive. Like, like I think I explained when I did my moose hunt, like I bought like trash bags, some fuel canister, and some thermocell refuel things, and it was like $100 and some for 3 items.
Yeah,
like
we
those
bought-
items were very cheap if you bought them down here, and I should have just shipped them up there.
Yeah, the grocery bill was rough.
Yeah, the grocery bill was definitely rough.
You bought groceries up there?
Yeah, that was wild.
That's one thing, I guess,
like
looking
an
back
avocado
at it.
costs $5 for one avocado, and that's just
I would
like,
say no.
And you know what's funny about that?
Buy an avocado for $5. I live with that, an avocado.
The strangest thing,
I can
though,
go-
it tasted just the same.
It didn't taste better because you paid $5
it was
for
definitely
it?
not a better.
But those
tasting
are
avocado.
those things where you can look at it in hindsight and go, what can we ship from down here up that are like a dry good? Because you can't ship ice.
Right.
You can't do anything. It's got to be those jelly ice packs if you do. And it was up there for 2 weeks. So who would have known? Had we known that, we'd have been like, oh, the day before, 3 days. You don't really know. You should be prepared just in case and send what you want. And if you arrive, depending on how you're doing your hunt, then you could just get what you want to from there. So like tortillas, we could have done a few things. You know, we could vacuum seal a bunch of stuff and it would have been fine.
Yep.
But
So
it's-
what did you ship versus what you took with you?
I did all my big bulky stuff. So my big rubber boots, my waders, my optics, all of that big stuff. I didn't want really to. Well, my spotting scope. I took my binos.
That's a cardinal
Yeah.
sin.
Yeah,
That's what I
okay.
did. My eyes just got real big.
For those who are listening, these guys just crucified. So,
I did not ship my optics up. They went with me in my backpack.
Good.
Yeah, I always put my optics in my carry-on.
I did. I live on the edge, boys.
I just
Life on the edge, you're taking up
I'm
space.
testing that warranty. I'm just kidding. No, my rangefinder binos went with me. The other stuff went in there, but it was just big stuff that I didn't want to take in my backpack. Mostly all my clothes were in my carry-on, and then just my bow went. So it was just big stuff.
So the question for you, as because you brought your bow, did you find like a really lightweight target to bring up to do some practice when you were up there?
Yep,
And
I
did you
shipped
ship
my
that?
Reinhardt. I shipped my Reinhardt up there just for that, to leave it out in front of the cabin, and then I donated it to the Rod and Gun Club when I left. So
That's cool.
they have a decent target. So if they have other people up there that hunt, if they have other people coming up to hunt, someone's got a decent target that can eat a
How do you
broadhead.
think about that?
Yeah.
Are you appreciative?
Oh, very.
Yeah.
That was something that like really like struck me from Alaska is how kind and how nice every single person is.
Yeah.
Like it was just awesome.
Even being a non-resident.
Even being a non-resident.
Wow.
I mean,
Look at that lower 48.
we met people at the dock.
Can't wait for the comments about that one.
Yeah.
We met people at the dock that when we got back, that were just like, "Oh, do you guys need any help checking your bear in? Like, oh, we'll take you up there." And I'm like, "I just met you 2 minutes ago," and everybody's like I said, just so helpful and so kind. It was awesome.
There was a real quick. Remember that guy that was in the cafe that made the lower 48 comment about that? So the power head, or we had lost Wi-Fi in the lodge one morning. So it wasn't a big deal, but we went downstairs to have our coffee and breakfast, and they were talking about how the power was out. And this older gentleman had a baby on his lap, and he goes, "What do you say? Like maybe maybe the lower 48 got bombed," and he's dancing with this little girl on his lap, and it's just kind of like
Lower 48 just got wiped off the map, and we're up here in
He's
Alaska.
dancing, he's like, "Oh, we're okay up here," like talking to this baby, and it was the funniest thing because we're
weird.
Yeah, being up there, we're like, "Oh, that's what they They're just completely cool up here.
Wild. They're very, very. I mean, it's remote.
It is isolated.
It's hard to imagine it's just part of the same country. I mean, it is.
It is.
It's a
yeah,
long way.
and that's not a knock on Alaskans at all. Like I think it just talks to the fact that because anything can happen down here, and they're still up there catching halibut, hanging out, watching Northern Lights, and yeah.
How did you find this spot? Cabin.
Literally, so a lot of Alaska has gone to a draw, like Prince of Wales Island, all that. You know, you have to
Not a lot of Alaska. I mean, a lot of Alaska is still OTC for bear.
right, but places we were looking at.
I don't mean to correct you. I just
all good. All good.
I just want people to know that like you can buy a bear tag.
You can buy bear tags. Yeah.
Cody and I have been with each other for what 8 days now at this point, so I feel like I can be pretty blunt with Cody.
You can be pretty blunt with me. It's all good.
Anyway,
No, so I was looking at places around there, around Prince of Wales Island.
Oh, gotcha.
That we could still get over-the-counter bear tags for. And the unit we chose was the closest one to it, and then we just started looking for forestry cabins in that area. And was literally how we chose it. We're like, all right, this is the forestry cabin that's closest to it, you know, in an area that we can get logistically get a boat to and travel around and not have too many, you know, or not have too much stuff to worry about.
Is there anything though where you're looking at like habitat wise, like e-scouting, trying to figure it out, or just like
To be honest with you, no.
just like we know we're hunting coastal bears, so they're going to be in the ocean.
Yep.
And we're going to assume tide's going to go in and out, and there's going to be grass and
The tide definitely goes in and out. But we'll
stuff for bears to eat.
Yep.
So it's not like a one spot looks better than the other kind of thing. It's just like wherever cabin is. Because did you guys determine right away you wanted to do a cabin hunt?
Yeah, we were definitely like full in on a cabin hunt.
Full on a cabin hunt.
what's the process of booking a cabin like?
It's literally you just go to recreation.gov, I believe is what it is.
Yep.
And you can pull up a map. There's all these little cabins start popping up in campsites, filter it down. And
Any sense as far as like what the demand is like for that? Like,
yeah, so there's definitely a schedule on there of availability. Book it far enough in advance. I think they go like 6 months out on booking them. And it's $40 a night.
for the whole thing?
Well, $30 to $40 a night. The one we got was $40 a night.
Sheesh.
It's a great little
I
A-frame
might
cabin.
move up there.
Yeah.
Just book the year out. Just book the year.
Yeah. It might be cheaper.
Get your Starlink.
Just
Get a little generator out back.
Just move in.
That's
Sorry,
a
this year's
popular
booked out.
option, though.
Yeah.
Like for people to stay in those places, the one that we were in is really, really, really popular. But in September, it's completely booked by locals for moose hunting. So, but there's plenty of other options. Yeah, you kind of can look at a calendar and see when it's available and everything. A lot of people do it for your typical national parks here in the lower 48, and I'm sure more people could take advantage of it up there. So
you got a cabin rented.
Got a cab rented.
And then, so now you're like, do we just walk in our waders, or how are you getting?
Right,
How are you getting this boat? That's what I'm kind of curious about.
Does the cabin have a boat?
Nope, no boat.
no, we had to make one.
Made a boat?
Paul chopped a tree down.
Yeah.
You made an ark?
Yeah, I shipped all the animals up there. No, I just kidding.
Paul Noah frame?
Paul's
Whole Noah frame. Wow.
No, actually, shout out Randy Newberg for all the educational stuff he puts out for these kind of hunts. Talked about renting skiffs. So in Alaska, if you get transported out, the transporter cannot take your skiff as well. So we had to rent a skiff, which we did from the town we stayed in, or the town we flew into.
Yeah, because in the transport, we're technically considered guiding like that
yep.
thing. Yeah, you have to watch out for.
So we rented a skiff from the transporter, and then our friend Josh that went with us took the skiff from Wrangell down to the cabin, which is about a 25-mile run.
So you had to drive it.
So he had to drive it, and
He was really Captain Ahab.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Just
Like,
straight Captain Ahab.
That mustache was sick. We have to put a photo up of his.
Yeah, it is one. Josh has an epic mustache for sure. And so we got the skiff. It was like a 16 or 17 foot Lund DV. I think a 30 horsepower motor on the back of it. So it'd do like 25 miles an
30? That's not much.
hour. Not much in the ocean.
In the
that's
ocean,
for
yeah.
sure.
Did you use all of it?
Not much. Yeah.
All 30 horses?
Oh, dude,
All
yeah.
30 horses were used.
Yeah, we even got out and paddled when we had to. That puppy could go though.
So you found that, but like, how did you guys go about finding a transporter then? Because like, obviously, you did the cabin first, and then now you're just trying to call a bunch of people like, "Hey, you're a transporter in this area that could get me to this place."
I'm a big believer in Google.
So you,
Yeah.
yeah.
I jumped on Google. I put in Wrangell, Alaska hunting transporters. And our breakaway adventures is who we used.
Yeah. Did you have to call a bunch of places first, or did you get the first one?
The first one.
Yeah, it's not that big of a place to call.
Yeah, there's one other transporter in the area.
Yeah.
And called him, told him what we were doing and, what we were looking to rent. And
Did he walk you through it, kind of, like explain some things?
not really. I mean, it was very, very like simple and straightforward. What dates do you want to go? How much gear you bring in? What are you looking to do? Told him, cool, we'll see you then.
Is there any weight limits?
No weight limits, no nothing. I mean, we were in a legit landing craft, like just giant aluminum landing craft. So we had
Drop the front door down.
all the coolers, everything. The landing craft pulled up right to the beach on the cabin, dropped the front of it, unloaded all of our stuff.
But he couldn't tow the boat behind it
Correct.
because that would be considered assisting on the hunt to guide.
Yep.
So that's the difficult part. So like if you went somewhere more remote, I'm just trying to think in my head, like planning one right now, like you have to deal with that then. You might have to drive the boat 60 miles, 80 miles, like
Yeah. And that's kind of the sketchy part. Like you have to think about that. So 25 miles in a 16-foot skiff is pretty far.
could be scary. Yeah, you have to have a good weather window.
So when we went out, it was a blue day. It was beautiful, glassy. The whole thing was nice. The cabin we were in is on a great location. Then there was another cabin up a bay, 20-something miles, 22
I
miles.
think it was like 22 miles.
And then further up from that was another bay. And that had a cabin. That was a long, long haul. Hindsight being what it is, I mean, things work out the way they do. But had we stayed in any one of those other cabins, it would have been a very different story. We probably would have never gotten out of those bays, or we would have never gotten out of the cabin, just because of the stretch of water, the way the weather moves through those channels. So 16-foot Lund, moving around Alaska and everything else, it's great if you can navigate it well and you are smart about what you're doing, but it can get nasty real fast. And if you're not prepared for it, it's a shit show.
It definitely got nasty one day.
So my next question goes into like, what if shit hits the fan and something on the boat breaks? Like, is this guy, like when you're renting this boat, are you getting some tools? Or are you getting anything?
So we did have a toolkit with us that he provided, fire extinguishers, flares, locator beacon. And
Life jackets.
Life jackets. But then we actually
bought our own.
We bought our own because I'm not trying to wear one of those orange.
Why not?
I don't know. It's sketchy.
They look awesome.
Yeah,
It's very vintage. I wore mine just around the cabin.
because I've been around boats my whole entire life, and like I would say, it was a fisheries research work forever, dealing with boats in the backcountry. Like shit goes wrong on a boat, and we've had to tear apart motors in the backcountry before, hang them from a backcountry cabin, and like. So I'm just thinking about how you guys maybe thought about bringing in extra stuff, or just knew he had a toolkit.
Josh actually, he's very mechanically inclined. He's an Air Force mechanic. So I said to him, like, put together a toolkit for us that you think might be able to help us out.
Yeah.
So bring a mechanic.
Hunt
You
with a
got a
mechanic.
buddy that's a mechanic that hunts a little?
Yeah.
Just bring him a little.
Just
He's
a
like,
little.
you're
You
gonna
want
hunt
him to
this
be more
week.
mechanic than hunter.
He's a mechanic and a medic. So.
Yeah, the perfect partner is somebody that's a mechanic that likes to hunt a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
But luckily, the motor was brand new.
Okay.
I mean, brand new. I think it probably had 20 hours on it, maybe. Awesome setup. So we didn't thankfully have to worry about that.
My dad brought a brand new side by side last year, and it burned down in the middle of the mountain. So it's like there's possibilities on these brand new things.
100%.
Right,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Luckily, we didn't have that problem.
Yeah, let's knock on wood.
But we did logistically have to buy fuel. So you have to think how many days you're going to be out there. That was one of the questions I asked him is how much gas does this motor burn?
And did you guys bring a bunch of extra like jerry cans and stuff?
We rented them from him.
Okay.
Or actually they came with the skiff rental. And we brought 40 extra gallons of gas and ended up using
Extra gallons. I'm trying to think of all the jerry cans you need for that as I was drinking coffee. I'm like,
It was eight extra cans.
yeah.
I'm thinking I'm sending gear on there every single day.
You inhaled a pot of coffee right there on one gulp.
Gosh. Yeah, so this is up trips like there's a lot of planning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole lot of planning. You
For-
have to
for
do
this,
the math
yeah.
of like, all right, the thing burns, I think he said 2 gallons an hour. So like how far we were planning on making runs every day down to like the canal that was down 11 miles down the channel and then back and then like down the canal and however much further we went. Anyways, we ended up burning through like 35 or 36 gallons of gas for the whole trip.
Kind of close.
Yeah.
So
that was what we planned for though.
Okay.
So we
you
planned to burn that much every day.
Okay. Because like to me, it's yeah. trying to think of the gas would be kind of difficult because you're playing. What if you get there, the spots you don't like, and you end up traveling further than you thought, and all of a sudden you're burning more fuel every single day?
So
Because once you ran out, you're hosed.
So we had like a morning plan. Every morning, boat was in the water. Take the can out,
toss in the water.
We'll get to that. We'll top it off, and then we'll throw in a full can. Because we knew what a full tank can get us in that area, which was a lot. I mean, we could really cover some water. And then we had a day where we did need an extra can because you just end up popping into this channel, going over here, and everything else. So it helps knowing that you can at least have 2 cans. And I mean, again, the hindsight being what it is, you can look now and go, damn, we went pretty far on 2 cans. But someone could say, like, we'll take 2 cans. And all of a sudden, you're shit out of luck because you're way too far.
Right.
So it's knowing what it can burn and knowing what you're taking with you and staying within.
Yeah, because you throw some bears on there. If you get multiple bears in one day, you're going to bog that boat down. You're going to be burning some fuel.
Oh, yeah.
We
Big time.
definitely got into that.
Yeah.
So the fuel thing, so it's that's a logistical nightmare in itself.
Yeah.
You get all your gear in there and you settle in the cabin. What's the cabin like?
Amazing is the easiest way to describe it. I know.
Is it like
Super
furnished?
Cool. A-frame?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
an
so
A-frame built in what, 68?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, in the 1960s. So an A-frame, and then when you walk in the door, there's 2 bunks. And then there's like a picnic table and then shelves on the right side and then a ladder that goes up to a loft, and the loft is just flat. It's kind of like the length of this, but just narrow. So you could fit probably 6 people in there.
Oh, really?
It'd be snug, but you can probably fit 6 people in there. Yeah, it had this kind of like stove in there, and it was supposed to burn
Number one
fuel oil, but I think they gave us diesel.
Number one
fuel oil is what the National Forest Service.
What is number one fuel oil?
Got me because Googled it.
I know diesel 1 and diesel 2 is straight like that. I know that because I used to have a diesel truck.
Diesel
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
It wasn't red dye diesel. It was just like regular diesel. And we bought what, 10 gallons of that?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that went to a little reservoir in the back of the cabin, and that just fed into like a line into the back of the stove.
So it's not like a wood burning thing.
No.
It's like
Some of the cabins have wood burning stoves.
And if anybody's planning it, I would definitely look into like maybe the wood burning, because this thing gave off just enough heat to like dry a sock in 2 days. It was rough. So we'll talk about the discomfort of being, or comfortable discomfort. Anyways,
being wet all the time.
You take your own
being wet all
bedding,
the time. What's that?
sleeping pad, sleeping bag, all in bedding. So it's not furnished.
No.
Silverware or anything like that?
Nope, not front. You walk in just pretty
empty.
much. Yeah, so we just had our GOHUNT spoons or sporks and just the regular old stuff that we'd always use.
We did rent a nice little camp cooking set instead of shipping it up. We rented a camp cooking set from the transporter.
Like a camp chef type?
It had like a camp chef stove in it,
like a
Coleman
jet
stove,
Yep.
Pots and pans,
Yeah.
forks
So
and knives.
Yeah.
Did you know that beforehand that you were going to do that? When you talked to him, or when you got up there and then like, hey, you got this?
We knew it beforehand. We did plan on bringing all that up, and then on one of our conversations with him on the phone, he said, "Hey, I have this for rent. I think he charged us like $10 a day, for an entire camp kitchen set." And it was like, yeah, this is probably cheaper and easier just to rent it from him and not have to worry about anything.
Did you guys buy your licenses before you went up
Yeah.
and just have them shipped here?
They did all my stuff online.
Gotcha.
Yep. 'Cause there's not a Department of Wildlife office in Wrangell, so we bought them online, and then they shipped them. And I think it took like 2 weeks to ship everything down, like your locking tags and
So
license.
plan ahead, a
Plan
couple
for
weeks
that
at
for
least.
Big time. Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha.
Any mice in the cabin?
No.
No, really clean. This thing was really well taken care of, really well sealed up.
Yeah.
So even with all the moisture and everything, this thing was really top notch. Super comfortable. I mean, I'm sure we'll post pictures on Instagram and everything else, but it was a really cool place to stay. Yeah. Then the view walking out was, I mean, even if you just wanted to again stay there just to stay there, this place was cool. It was really cool.
Had a nice little outhouse in the back, which was nice.
Yeah.
So there's bring toilet paper. Maybe some wet wipes for you, Brady Miller. Yeah.
No,
Big wet wipe guy, right?
No, thank you. I don't need to pamper my backside. You know that.
Hey, my wet wipe bag in Alaska was a hot commodity. Everybody wanted some wet wipes.
Yep.
What's hunting like? So how do you what do you do? Are you just out cruising the boat, looking at beaches? Are you getting out and doing a lot of hiking?
All it was cruising in the boat. It's everything I'd like, all the videos I'd watched and everything I'd read and everything pre this hunt was cruise around in the boat. So we'd get 400 or 500 yards off the
Yeah.
shoreline.
Just about.
Is that a good distance? Like you're not spooking things, you think, with the boat motor?
Not at all. I thought it was a great distance.
I mean, some bears, like they just didn't stick around. I don't, they would just leave. But for the most part, you were off enough that where you were in the bay, you're not getting anything off the shore. It's pretty calm where you can kind of get an idea of what you're glassing. You can make out items, things like that, stumps and trees and so on. It wasn't bad. And then also you were still close enough if something were to happen, you can at least get to shore. You're not so in the middle of a channel.
Yeah.
I mean, because the one thing is Wrangell is steep. You're not working with a whole lot of shoreline when it comes to it. So when you're trying to play the tides, if the water goes out, you got what you got. You hunt within that time frame, and then the water comes up, and it's steeper than a 45 in some places. And in other areas, there is no shoreline; it's just rock wall. So trying to get on a bear like not to get too far into it, but one of the first bears we spotted, these bears are not small in any regard. But we tried to get up. We had to end up going down the beach to find a landing spot, and then had to make our way back towards the bear. By the time all that happened, the bear had just given us the slip. But trying to find locations to land that boat was tough.
So there's not big tidal flats, big grassy
not
beaches.
like where we were.
Not really, but the areas that did get really, really flat, that water recedes so quick. It's about 2 feet an hour. And if you're not careful, you're sitting there for a while, or that boat's going to be way up further than you thought, and your anchor's way back in the water. I mean, it could be a whole mess. So it would have been nice to get out, but you've only got like maybe 2 to 4 hours of having a good time, and you got to be back on the boat within depth. So you're not getting too far past your boots or your waders to get back to the boat. So it's not exactly, it'd be interesting to learn, but for what we were learning within the days we were there, it was just safer to kind of just sit in the boat, do what you can, beach it when you can, glass what you can, and then get back to it. But we saw a lot of bears from the boat, and we saw plenty of them.
You had a great, what was that tide app you were using that helped us out quite a bit?
I forgot the name of it. Let me
I think
check.
it might have just been like tides or something super simple like
That's
that.
all it is, just tides.
Tide.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Like not the laundry
Not
tide?
the laundry.
no, not the laundry tide. It's
Tide
just
Pod
like
challenge?
it's just like a black. It's just a black square with like a wave on it. Just says tides.
Okay, so I have a lot of questions here
Okay.
about this boat thing.
Okay.
I'm going to say it's right now funny, so everyone listening can know I'm being funny.
All right.
So basically, you road hunted for bears, but from a boat.
That's all it was.
Yep.
And I just say that because like people give shit to a lot of people, like, oh, a lot of people just road hunting down like the lower 48, but up there, like that's the tactic.
That's how you have to
That's
do
the
it.
how you do it.
The rainforest is what it is so thick.
Yeah.
You're seeing 10, 15 yards.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So then so obviously you have to be in the boat and you're just cruising along. What sort of speeds are we talking about here? Are you just like putting along? Are you going 5 miles an hour? Like,
We're
are you
wakeboarding,
cruising? Like,
We're wakeboarding.
What's the strategy of covering country every day to make sure you see a lot, but also don't go too fast so you're just driving by bears that might come out in a couple minutes? Like, how is that strategy working?
It was pretty much kind of hauling our 30 horsepower asses down this channel. It sounded loud, by the way, but we were not moving. As you get into the channel, once we kind of knew we were getting into really good areas that were opening up. So part of what I had done is like I was e-scouting old timber cuts. And, Alaska's changed a lot. They stopped timber cutting in some areas like in the 90s. So you never know what it might look like. But some of the timber cuts were way back off the shoreline and they had already become, fairly overgrown. So it wasn't more of like, all right, well, let's just see what's on the shoreline then. So once we'd come around certain noses and corners, we would drop it down to an idle. And then we'd kind of get a good distance off and you'd pretty much just idle down the shoreline. Because at that point, you're not hitting waves enough that you can't, keep your binos stable. Because I didn't have Zulus. And it was enough that you could just kind of motor through and your decibels are lower because sound on that water and in those areas just goes.
Yeah.
So keeping that down was, I think, helpful.
Another thing we did, like scouting on GOHUNT maps, was like we looked for every single creek that was coming out into the ocean.
Yep.
And that was like a really good thing for mussel flats, for the little bit of grass. I think we went a little bit early. We went a little bit early for grass, but like the grass we did see was where freshwater creeks were coming out.
The dandelions were firing off, which is somewhat of a positive because there's a massive field behind the cabin, which we can get to as well. And you get back there, it's just flowers everywhere, but they just hadn't been eaten yet, which is all like you go on a slope and you're like, this is perfect for them. And you're thinking the only thing we're missing is animals. It's just, that's the one sign is they hadn't gotten there yet.
So how are you dealing with like having conversation in the boat? Because everything carries louder in the water, like you're saying. Like you guys just trying to keep your voices low as
Kinda
best
like
you
this.
can, and like
Just like a normal conversation.
Pretty quiet.
We would obviously, you see a bear and you get excited and you're like, oh, there's a bear. but you're far enough away to where it doesn't hear you. You know, the added of like the waves crashing into the shore and all that
Yeah, 'cause there's always that going
completely
on.
covered us up.
So walk me through I don't want to be jumping ahead or anything, but walk me through when you see a bear.
Right.
Well, what do you guys do? What are you guys doing? You judging the bear right away? Or are you
Panic.
trying to figure out where you can get the boat to park? Like how does that
A
work?
little bit of everything.
But where to get the boat, especially, and then how to deal with stalking said bear on a coastal hunt.
We got into it. There's a lot of stump bears. I'll tell you that. A whole lot of stump bears in Alaska.
Really?
Yeah,
Still stump bears?
just like Montucky. You'd find a bear. Whoever we did the classic hunting thing, you spot the bear, it's your bear, or you can pass on it. We'd spot a bear.
Who spotted the first bear
Cody.
for the whole entire trip? Cody did,
Well, pretty much. This
because he
dude,
was in the front and
he had the eye.
Yeah.
No,
Well, I
he
was
was he
motoring
was,
most
he
of the
was
time.
sitting back. Yeah, he was Captain Ahab back
my
there.
guy.
Just kind of one eye and
Captain
just
B.
Yeah, but he had everyone's kind of going out. You're like, man, I usually spot him up. He was differentiated. I saw a lot of rocks and a lot of stuff that just was bulbous, but the first bear he spotted was in a really, really trippy, beautiful place, man. And this is big bear. But go ahead,
Respectable
Cody.
bear, huh?
Oh,
Yeah, respectable bear.
yeah.
But we would spot them. We'd stop the motor and just kind of sit there and drift a little bit and watch them through the binos.
Check the wind.
And yep.
Check the
And
wind.
that's the next thing we would do. It'd say, all right, we get the wind checker out. We'd see which way the wind was blowing out where we were. We'd say, okay, the wind is blowing. If the bear's here, the wind's blowing this way. We'd find the nearest place that we thought we could get to downwind from the bear. And then we'd motor towards that. And we'd probably get, 20 yards from shore at full speed and then just kill the motor and drift in.
Okay.
And then when you drift in,
How far away from you the bear?
He's up the beach a ways.
Yeah.
And this, in
You
this
talking
situation,
like you're dropping yourself a half mile?
no.
Nah, 300 yards
300,
maybe
400
ish.
yards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that first bear we saw was pretty big, and he was really involved under this tree and just getting after it. So we found just one little area where like the low tide had given us a shelf, and we kind of got around. And once we killed it, we just paddled up. And once we paddled up, you use your paddle to kind of slow the boat down, hop out of the boat and hold it stable.
You're wearing waders all the time in the boat?
Yeah, no, today I was just
freezing?
wearing my boots.
Yeah,
I was just wearing my rubber boots on that day.
What was it? Lacrosse
Hip boots or just
Nope.
Eight,
knee
just,
boots.
an
Yeah.
18, 17 or 18
over,
inch
over the
boot.
calf?
over the calf
Yeah.
rubber boots. And we'd jump out, check the wind again, make sure it was good, and start stalking in.
What happened to that bear?
Wind.
You got winded?
Wind shifts like crazy around there.
How far away do you think you picked you off?
I mean, I was 800-900 yards away.
How,
I think the minute we hit the shore, I felt like he was just gone.
Like,
Yeah.
we pulled the boat in, hike up the little mussel flat, and we'd get to the top where you could see where he should be. He was gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bear's nose is everything.
It's their only thing that saves them. They're blind as bats. They can't hear that great.
I don't know if they're blind, but they're evil eyes. Yeah, they definitely don't see as well.
Moving across those rocks and mussels was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Only because you, in your mind, you're like quiet, 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 and the water's hitting the shoreline. You have the wind. You just have all this other like ambient natural noise.
You can't be quiet when you're just crushing mussels.
Yeah.
Every time you take
You're
a step.
stepping on chips. Chips are softer than mussels. Like you're crushing, like walnuts the whole way down there, and you're uneven in these boots. And I mean, there's a little bit of stability. There's no excuse to it. It's hunting. But putting that into your mind's eye of when you get up here, figure out the best way to get in. And I think, again, my hindsight has been great, but if you can get in just into the tree line, you were hitting game trails within 5 or 6 feet of those trees, and it was just like carpet. You could probably move through that a little bit better, have a poke through the tree or down the shoreline or something, at least for an archery shot. Or if you're at a 200-yard rifle shot, I think if you could have just got up into the trees and you get quiet, then make your way out. It could have been helpful, because in some scenarios where you'd end up spooking a bear, we got to the beach and you check out the trees, you're like, damn, we probably could have gotten into the trees maybe and worked this in a little bit better. But I mean, who knows? It's hunting.
This was definitely a learning experience for all of us. And we definitely learned quite a bit.
A lot. I mean, I feel like filling a tag is always great, but what we learned was just endless. It is endless on what you learn between species, weather patterns, tidal patterns, moon phases, terrain, mentality.
Completely different.
Completely different. Like you've got to I think some people say buck up. You just got to be open to being okay with being wet and messing up stuff and being wrong and learning on the right on the spot.
How do you think, you mentioned moon phase, how do you think the moon phase impacted the hunt?
So when we had gone out there, it was a waning moon, so it was just no moon. And because I feel that because of that, the water had receded way, way more.
So it's a water thing, not like a bear.
It's a tidal thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So our tide, by the time we had gotten there, was going to like 0 one night, and then it was -1 one night, then -2 feet, -3 feet, and it was going out to like -6 as we stayed out there longer. And that was kind of happening between 11 p.m. to about 3 a.m. So that water would go all the way out -4. The amount of mussel stuff, the mussel flats and the eels and starfish and the things that were being exposed throughout the night. I mean, these bears are...
So then they were probably eating at night?
I'm thinking if they're diurnal, they're going to be out there eating a bunch of stuff at night. So here we are, the lower 48 guys. We got to be up at 7, man. Let's get hunting. These bears are just hanging out in the trees. They're not even out till 3. I think we saw the majority of our bears between like maybe 4 to 7 is when we saw them all. Yeah. And I think because of those tidal flats and it being darker, they were doing their thing at night, maybe.
So they were coming out, getting all that food right there.
And then when we saw a single bear in the morning.
Seeing bear tracks? Like out on the beach?
No,
nothing.
No, and then the sign is kind of hard to make out too. It's not like you're not seeing the snapped limbs and the rubs and all the territorial stuff you typically see with like mountain bears. I mean, these bears, I don't know that they have to mark a territory because they have stretches of beach all to their own. I mean, it's quite incredible. Yeah. So yeah, that part, the tide, I think was tough because we learned the lessons as well that you also need to know how to anchor off and tie off your boat. Because if you're not careful, that tide that went -4 is also not just coming up to 16, but then it's coming up to 18, 19, 20, and 22 feet. So that water line is getting almost up to where we are in the cabin.
Are you confused? Because I'm very confused about this tidal thing. I've never had a deal with it. I've never looked it up.
Tides are, I mean, the times that I have spent in Alaska, that's one thing that I definitely don't understand that those guys get like on another level is the tides and the movement of tides.
Yeah, tide and the weather was just, it was drastically different.
Everything.
Like we had one night where we came back to the cabin, and we get back to the cabin at what, like 10:30, 11 at night?
Yeah, one night, well, that one bad night we did. Yeah. The other nights we got there at about 9, and it was like dusk. Sun was just going down.
It wasn't getting dark till 11. I think sunset was 11:20.
You guys are further north?
Yeah.
It wasn't getting really dark until
1:30 in the morning where the sky is still like a very dark blue.
Wow. Yeah, I would say it really only got kind of inky black from like midnight, maybe like 12:30 till 3.
Yeah.
Something like that. Not a lot of darkness.
Yeah, we had one morning where one evening where we anchored the boat where we thought it would be good. We'd ended up driving a stake into the ground, like just a random limb that we had found. And I remember waking up at 4-something in the morning to Josh saying, holy shit, the boat's completely beached. And that in turn meant the boat was up on the rocks, like at a, what do you say, like 30-degree angle, just like literally just sitting like this.
It was bad. It was real bad.
The boat had come up, or the tide had come up so far, the boat floated up. It floated around this point and got stuck on the rocks, and the tide went down
18 feet.
Yeah, it was.
So how do you then plan for that?
You learn.
I don't know that you can, man, to be honest with you. Like the biggest thing, bro, is like we had a little floating barge like out in front of our point. Mm-hmm. That barge was always at least 20 feet deep of water when we came up. So if you know in your area, like, hey, look, there's like a landing barge, what we can do is maybe stage stuff there, get in like a pack raft or something, and then tie off your boat, float in, and then in the morning get up, float out, untie your boat, come up to the beach, do your thing, and then go from there. I think that would have been one smart way to go about it. But I mean,
bring a pack raft.
I mean, if you know in that situation where you're going to be, or shipping everything up anyways, it wouldn't have hurt to take one. Yeah, you never would have known the situation. Pounds. So that would have been something I think would have been smarter, is probably doing that. But the problem is again, we would try to set timers on, hey, let's be up at 4 a.m. and the tide should be at blank feet, because you could see when the tides are going out, so we know what time is it right now, where are we at? For instance, it's 8:30 and we're at 2 feet. Okay, so when we look around, all right, at about 4 a.m, it should be here as well. We'll check on the boat then. Well, like Cody said, this thing got so high that when it wrapped around, on one side of our bay was a beach, on the other side it was a cliff, and that boat ended up on the cliff side.
Sounds fun. That was gonna sit there and wait
till 2 in the afternoon, 2:12 in the afternoon.
So if you wanted to go bear hunting, you can't now.
No.
Yeah.
We did some engineering and had some logs, and
we built. Yeah.
we kind of like built a pathway for the boat, and then tied the back of the boat off, tied the front of the boat off. I took like one of the big logs, shoved it under there when the water was starting to get closer, and literally just like lifted the back into the boat with leverage back into the water. But I mean, we have a great little time lapse sequence of us trying to be engineers in the middle of Alaska and getting the boat back in the water.
And that was humbling.
That was very.
I mean, I know like we can look back and go, damn, that was crazy. But I think, looking at it and what it was is, yeah, I'm 100% embarrassed. Like we should have been that night when we got back, it had rained all day long. And we had to semi go into town. So after that, well, I hope we'll talk about your bear for sure, but we had to drop off Cody's bear. And then we also had to grab like 1 or 2 more cans of fuel. So Whitey went into town to drop all that stuff off for us. And then we kind of were putting around. It rained nonstop for about, since we left. And then we picked up, I think it was about 1 or 2 o'clock, and it continued to rain. And we went out and it continued. So that whole day it was raining. It got cold. And I think we were starting to shiver. We were getting really tired. It was taking a lot of energy. And that like the shivering just burns calories. By the time we got back, it was probably 9 o'clock and we were zapped. We made dinner. We started to take our clothes off, dry out, try to do what we can do. And we were having the conversation that we do about the boat. Let's just have some dinner. We'll readdress it. We'll this and that. And we went to bed. And that boat ended up on the beach. And that's, like I said, it's a little embarrassing now, but you have really got to pay attention and get out of your own way when it comes to, you got to take care of what you need to take care of. Tie your boat off or you can't go hunting the next day. Make sure all your clothes are dry or you're going to have one hell of a time. Make sure you have enough food that you're energized about. Dude, that's another thing. The humidity in Alaska, holy shit, it was like 78%. Like there was one day where you were in really bad shape. I think we were maybe a little dehydrated.
Yeah.
Didn't get a lot of sleep.
Had a bit of the boat was stuck up.
That was the day the boat was stuck up. Had a bit of a stomach bug, and so like he slept it off, which was good. But I mean, that quick, it's not any poor decisions. This place just creeps up on you. And so the tides were, dude. We every single morning, because we couldn't get that boat out to that dock. It was in some way, shape, or form away from the water where we had to just like eke it down or roll it down, and it made for kind of a lot of work.
Exhausting.
It was a lot of
Burning
work.
Calories you don't need to burn.
Yeah. So anyways, by about 2:30, we got that boat back in the water, pushed it out, got out. By the time we got out, it was low tide, or the tide was going to start to go out so we can look for bears. I don't think we saw one that day, but we just lost 3/4 of a day. So lessons learned.
How many bears did you see in? See a lot of bears
for what, the first 2 days?
Yeah. Well, the first day we got out, we saw that one in the back of the field. That was like 2,000 yards out. And then the next day we saw 6 and 1 brown bear. 6 black bears, 1 brown bear. That was a great day. And that was the day
I shot my bear.
Cody shot his bear. And then, so the first bear we saw gave Cody the slip. The second bear we saw, we were sitting there trying to figure out how to get to the shore. And by the time we were like kind of doing that, we're drifting towards the shore and the bear stops eating and kind of turns all the way around and looks at us. And we're like, dude, the clock's ticking. This bear's either going to go or not. He left.
What's the distance between you and the bear right there?
Well, from the boat, he's probably only 200 yards.
Oh.
But once you kind of get up the rocks and then scamper up the rocks, the thing is that those shorelines are so long and just in line with one another that if you have any little outcropping, he's in behind that outcropping. So a shot from like a really good point into that bear area is not really happening in some situations. So then after the second bear, we kind of make our way around the bay. And then I think we were like on the opposite side of the bay. And Cody's like, bear. We're talking like maybe a mile. And Cody spots this bear just going to town.
What was it? Bradfield
Canal. Bradfield, yeah. We had to come all the way back to Vegas for you to say it right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Bradfield Canal.
Across the Bradfield Canal and went in on him. And that one we kind of had learned by the first two, like, all right, let's take our time. Let's really figure out which way the wind's blowing. Where's the, best place we can get to. And there was the bear was on one beach. And he was literally standing in the water eating mussels. He was in the water up to his belly.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Just munching away. And we found this like outpopping of rocks, 300, 400 yards, or about 300 yards away. Took the boat into the downwind side of those rocks. I jumped out, grabbed the rifle, relocated the bear through when I got up on the rocks. And he ended up being 281 yards when I shot him. And
is this the type of situation? Because I've never seen Alaskan beach. Can you put a bipod down. You shouldn't have a tripod. You shouldn't have a backpack.
So it was definitely rocks that were, we shot them at low tide that were exposed from the tide, and they were just covered in mussels and kelp. So it was super, super slippery. But I was able to put the bipod down, get nice and set up,
Prone?
get very comfortable. I was kind of like leaning onto the rocks a little bit, you know, like leaning to the side and forward. And
He's right on the beach, pretty much.
he was literally like standing in the water, water hitting his belly as he's munching on mussels.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Shot him, dropped him in one shot.
You just fell down.
Oh, yeah.
Right in the
Literally
water.
just dumped.
What caliber did you take?
I was shooting a Browning Macmillan long range SPR in 300 PRC. And I had a Vortex Razor Gen 3 on the top of it.
Gotcha.
And yeah, just hit him with a 205 grain burger and just dumped him in his tracks. And
He died in the water?
in the water. Yeah, we got up to him. We have it on video. Like he is submerged in the water. I
No
have
way.
to reach down and like grab his paw to pull him to shore.
He's probably in like 3 feet of water.
That makes it for a heavy bear.
Very heavy
heavy
bear.
bear.
Soaked in water.
Very
Any
heavy.
trouble finding him?
Not at all. Absolutely not at all. And we got up to him, pulled him up onto another set of like rocks, started shooting photos, and literally when we started shooting photos to when we were done, it was probably 10 minutes because the tide was coming up so quick that we just had to like shoot a couple trophy photos and get him in the boat. We didn't have time to skin him. We didn't have time to gut him. Nothing.
So, got him in the boat.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
How big a bear? How much do you think he weighed?
Oh God, I don't know. It took 3 of us to pick
It
him
took
up.
3 of us to pick him up in like in
300?
sets. Yeah. Easily 354 maybe because they're dense. Like their coats are really, really thick. He's soaking wet. They're really just big. And then I think overall he might have been like maybe 6 feet ish from nose to tail or something. Because there's a picture of Cody sitting there and Cody doesn't look 6'5", you know, or what is
6'4".
6'4".
I appreciate the
All right,
extra
bud.
inch.
Well, because we were north, everything's, you know. And that bear was not small at all. So it's like a duffel bag full of bowling balls, man. That weight is hard. So you throw up the front paw and the head, and then at the back you have 3 guys kind of picking him up. And it'd be nice to have the paws out. He just like piled into the boat, and we're like, let's go, because that tide's coming up like a foot
Tide's coming up and you're running out of room.
a foot every 30 minutes. Let's go. And then that's at 6-ish, maybe. And we've only really got some decent. Oh, we're at a half a tank of fuel.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
nice.
was just getting started.
Half a tank of fuel. We've got now a massive bear in the front of the boat, and it's
that
about
ride.
6:30, and the sun's getting ready to go down over the mountain, so it's going to get dark pretty soon, and we've got to get moving. So there's a lot going on there.
Was it raining this day?
No, it was beautiful. He shot it. I think he was in a t-shirt.
Yeah, I was in
Oh,
a t-shirt.
wow.
Yeah,
T-shirt, my
Yeah.
Fall Ravens.
that was the last day. It was t-shirt weather.
Yep.
So you get this bear in the boat and then drive him back.
We spotted another bear.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, spotted a giant bear. When I saw the giant bear, I was like, oh, that's what a giant Alaskan black bear looks like. So much so to where it had a hump on its back and it was a little bit of a color phase. And Josh and I are sitting on shore looking at it, and I yelled at Paul. I'm like, Paul, I think this might be a grizzly bear. Because, like, it's just so big.
Paul was in the boat.
Paul's in the boat, so Paul...
He came up and dropped you off and then just pulled back a little bit.
So Paul anchors the boat, comes up, and he goes, nope, that's a black bear.
And then again, I'm just constantly curious about distance. How far are you from where you're at right down to the bear?
150 yards.
What?
Yeah.
151, I think it was.
Yeah,
something like that.
150.
So what happens? No.
So when we finally, like,
Bow hunting? Any temptation to whip out the rifle and
Oh, 100%. I mean, this was a full on hunt. Like
Gotcha, whatever
whatever
opportunity,
option.
right?
I mean, I wasn't gonna ignore the opportunity to creep in with my bow and
sure?
do what I could. But I also knew too that if I kind of found out by the second or third day that this was going to be a rifle hunt, just because trying to cover that amount of ground and as quick as these bears started to pick up what was going down, I needed to get it done, or I wanted to get it done. But we were cruising up in this stump, like from the boat, we're moving around. I was like, man, that piece of wood looks like it's moving. I hear Whitey go, is that a bear? And I was like, okay, good, that is a bear. So we got up and Whitey and Cody get out, and I'm sitting there and holding the boat and I'm listening. I'm like, I don't hear a bang. And then like 5 minutes goes by, I don't hear a bang. And I hear this dude yell, Paul. And I'm like, is this bear dead? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
So I scamper up and look. They're like, we don't know. Because it's like the color
It's got
phase is.
claws on it.
I mean, the color phase is very amber. It's very, very brown.
I've seen picture or video of it.
Yeah.
It's definitely a black bear, but
Oh yeah, so when it turned around, it had that pumpkin head and that big soda can nose. I was like, nope, that's a black bear, 100%.
So how long were you guys, you and Whitey, on shore looking at this bear?
5 minutes, 8 minutes,
At
and he's
sub
walking
200 yards?
Yeah,
Well, I think
he's walking away the whole time, but he's walking away and eating and walking away and eating and not really caring about us. Like, I was loud. So it's like, if this is a grizzly bear, maybe, he'll hear me and run away.
was a little
or-
surprised that he actually physically yelled, and this bear just kept going.
Yeah,
he
didn't
never
care whatsoever.
cared. It was really
Our
interesting.
wind was blowing from him to us.
So at this time of the day, actually, that's correct. At this time of the day, the wind was just moving down the beach, going from like our west to east, and we were coming in from east to west, and these bears were just in an opportune position. It was really a really good opportunity.
So what happens next?
So this is the hard part. So lesson learned.
Because you have a bear in the boat already, right?
Yep, bears
Okay.
my bear's in the boat.
Yeah.
We kind of rushed it. There's no kind of to it. Didn't put Whitey on a solid rest, and they missed. It was heartbreaking.
offhand.
Pretty much offhand, yeah. 181 yards was his shot, and literally we watched the video. We have it on the all-in. Just sails right over him, and don't know if it was because of the rest and the recoil of the rifle, whatever it was, sails right over him. Bear starts running, cranks another shot off, hits right in front of him. And we do due diligence. We see where the bear was. We go in there, we look for like 30 minutes, looking for blood, looking for whatever, and just straight miss, man. And that put Whitey in a pretty shitty spot.
Oh, yeah.
It's something this is a dream hunt, you might not ever get to do it again. And realized he blew his opportunity.
Bummer. Big bear.
So we're doing that. We get back in the boat, after not seeing any blood, not like reviewing the video, seeing the bullet soar right over him. And
That's the importance to point out to people, like, yeah, you're filming a hunt, so you're going to record digiscope, but even people who aren't doing that, like recording digiscope on any shot with the rifle is a very good thing. So you can review the footage, see if you hit, where you missed, if you hit it in a certain spot, how long to give them before you go over there. Like, recording kill shots or attempting to record kill shots is very important.
yeah, for sure. So after not finding any blood, we're like, all right, we got a bear in the boat. The sun is really going down. Like, it's starting to get dark. Let's get back in the boat, play it safe, because we still had a 20-mile run to the cabin. We're on the way back. We see another bear. We're like,
What day is this, by the way?
day 2.
Okay, so that's
Day 2 on the water.
So you think it should be a phenomenal hunt,
Right.
Like all these bears.
The whole time we're like, all right, we're seeing all these bears. We see the final bear for the evening. We're like, oh, he's a little small. We're seeing all these bears every night. Like,
Yeah, we'll pass.
he gets the pass.
He was bitching though. He was jet black. I mean, his face was jet black.
Those are my
You
favorite
could
bears.
only see like the shine of his eyes from the beach, and he was laying belly down with his paws out,
Just eating muscles.
muscles, just hanging out. And then that boat putts by, and he brings his head up, and he had a very like. They say that bears will have like childish mentality, like kiddish mentality. He gets up and he's kind of swinging his head and just bopping around when he leaves. And we're like, he looked pretty young, but it was the color just black. He was really cool looking. But at that point, we were looking at each other, and I said, nope, we need to go.
So you even passed him up with a bow.
I passed him up in the sense because of where we were with time, where we were with weight, and where we were with gas. We were not in a position to stop and kill a second bear, in my mind. And I thought, like, we've seen all these bears the second day. What am I worried about?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Exactly. So we're on the way back. We're looking at gas, and this is a new experience for all of us, even though Josh had grown up around boats in Lake Michigan and all that. So we see this other boat coming towards us. Literally one of the only other people we see the whole time we're out there. And these are some older guys, and they've got a pretty legit setup. We stop and talk to them, and they're like, hey, you know what? We'll follow you back. We don't want anything bad to happen to you. We'll follow you back, which was really cool.
Are they residents?
They were, yep. The kindest of the people
Love
out there.
them people who are nice residents.
So they follow us back. We make it back to the cabin with like very, very, very little gas in the boat. Get back to the cabin, get everything unloaded, get the bear unloaded, and we start the process of processing it.
Yeah.
And in between when we started and when we finished, the tide had come up so much that it was hitting the bear's feet. It hit my feet.
About 12 feet.
Yeah.
It rose in the hour and a half, 2 hours or something that we were doing it. So we had
Are
to
you
keep.
just hanging meat outside?
Yeah. We put it in
got a
game
meat
bag.
pole?
We put it in our game.
We made a meat pole.
Made a
Yeah,
meat
we
pole?
ran like paracord between two pretty good trees, and then we hung the meat up that way. Yeah, for the night. And then when we sat down that evening, I think we finally got done at like 11:30 or 12 that night. We were looking over that, we needed to get it because we had a big extra tote. So we got it in the tote and everything else. And we messaged our transporter that we needed to get it in, because if you leave it out in those conditions, the hide will start to slip and your meat is going to just stay wet. And so we had to get it back into town to freeze it so then we can get back to business.
It was probably like a 15-minute boat ride from the cabin. There's like it was like a dock, like a boat launch area that was like the final longest road in Wrangell. So there was obviously roads all through the island, and they met us down there. They picked up the bear meat and the hide and the skull and everything in the tote and took it to town for us and put it in the freezer, which was awesome.
Yep.
That's nice.
So the rest of the hunt, no other bears?
We literally woke up the next morning and the heavens opened up. And
It
we
rained
lived
for the
in
next
rain
5
gear
days.
for
It
the next
rained for
5
5 days
days.
straight.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I know it's to say like, oh, it rained, and then that was the end of that. But actually, what it was is that in the bay that we were in, think of it like maybe like on a watch. We were like at 6 o'clock, and then we had another bay at like 7, maybe 8 o'clock, and then there was a big channel that was like at 3 o'clock, and the channel we'd been heading up was more like 9 and 10 or 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock going to Bradfield. Well, the wall of rain that had come down that 10 and 11 o'clock channel, that Bradfield channel, was insane. And we made little jokes here and there like, oh, look, it looks like, the earth just ends, because you could see a faint black line at the top of the water and just rain. So we thought, hey, man, it's getting a little white cappy, because that night that we dropped off, or the day that we dropped off Cody's bear to get in the freezer, we all went out. Well, we went back into Bradfield to goof around because it was a decent afternoon. Well, on the way out, we were now getting caught in the storm that had been moving in.
That's when it got sketchy.
That's when it got sketchy. So
real
we were hitting maybe 4-foot-ish rollers, but then we had a pretty good wind coming out of our southwest. So as we hit a wave, it would push us over, and the waves are rolling under us like kind of paralleled. So as we hit a wave, we're getting pushed, and it's starting to get a little butt puckery, and water's kind of spraying up over, which it would. But what happens is around these islands and like pizza slices or in triangles, you'll have like these wind currents. You have the current and then the wind. And as those two things cross, it creates quite the situation. Not only that, but Wrangell's really steep, so there's a lot of trees that have slid into the channels. So you have these big alligators laying out there, and so there's a lot of other things you need to pay attention to. It's just not boat and water.
And the boat would go like 15 feet forward, and then a wave would pick it up. And as the wave's picking it up, you're at a little dip this way, so the boat would dip this way and spin, and
You're kind of,
got a little sketch.
Yeah, that pivot point's back where the motor is. So you hit and it would pivot you, and you'd hit and it would pivot you, and you're trying to correct it, but it's just constantly hitting you in the teeth. So when we got out of there that night, that was the night that we all got pretty beat up and all that. So the next morning, it was a little nicer. We had to wait till 2 o'clock to get the boat back in the water because it was beach so bad. Once we got back in the water, the clouds were now going from blue sky, starting to come together. The rain was moving in. And we went out, then we saw that black line. We thought, you know what, let's go to this other big bay and we'll check it out. So we go into another big bay. Nothing for that afternoon. Then after that, like the weather just got worse and worse and worse down in that canal, which then cut us off from Bradfield. So then we had to find a new spot. Gotcha. And it just never, we turned up, I think, one other bear that just had us pegged the minute we entered the bay, and it was gone.
Yeah, just weathered out, kind of.
Weathered out, man.
Completely weathered out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that was rough.
We found out later from an old timer in town that when you're out on the water like that and you see a black line out in the distance, that's waves. And those waves can be 5 feet and they could be 10 feet, but it's wind and waves, and that's not something to be in that boat. So like we said, we looked at it like, oh, look, haha, funny, let's go this way. But actually it was some happenstance that pretty much let us know that that's over with, to be safe. And that's one thing I think we learned, that we're not mariners. This, you got to just be safe, man. So
that was something else about Bradfield is we got back to the cabin that night after having that like sketchy boat ride, and I downloaded some depth charts, and we were in almost 1,100 feet of water. And that's like, you think about that, and all we have is, you know, our life preservers on in a 16-foot boat and 4 to 5 foot waves. That's fucking sketchy. Like, that is not a good feeling, knowing how deep that is.
Yeah.
So hug the shorelines.
A good trip.
Great trip.
Insane.
Yeah.
A lot of black-tailed deer.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Saw a lot of
Interesting.
black-tailed deer. Saw some 2 really good like bull moose deer. It might have been like, I don't know if they were brothers or something, but I didn't get to ask them. But they just looked like 2 young bulls because they had like soda cans on the tops of their heads. But I mean, one was a little smaller, but one was like, damn.
Saw some moose then, some blacktail,
Yeah.
black bears.
Yeah.
G-bears.
Whales or anything?
Saw some whales.
Yeah. We saw 2 humpback whales on the sketchy boat ride.
Oh, wow.
We were like, oh, we'll see some whales, and we'll go like putts over to them and maybe get some cool videos of whales. That
That
was
your
not
first time up
happening
there,
that
Paul?
day.
No, second time. I worked for an outfitter
Gotcha.
back in like 2016. So I was familiar at least with the weather and the rain and some of the terrain,
Yeah.
but not the aquatic side of
Sure.
hunting. And that was interesting.
Did you fall in love with it? Yeah.
Oh, it's,
Want to go back?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
100%.
I can't wait to go back.
Yeah, I think there's always a really cool opportunity, and I think if anything that I took away from it was logistically, there's really affordable ways to do this, especially as a group. You could break the cabin up, you could break up the boat, you could break up the shipping and how to do it all. I think the other thing too is if you just focus on one thing, you know, we wanted to fish for steelhead. It would have been great to fish for halibut, but as far as shipping goes, I think if you just focus on the bear side, I think that would have been smarter. Or if you know that, hey, we're going to do X amount of days for bear, call it, and then we're going to do X amount of days for fishing, and you're okay with that, that's fine. But I know that Alaska has this romance of just wanting to be able to do it all.
Yeah.
But the money that you could save on not having to go that far out or do all this other stuff, you could easily make it an every 2-year thing, pay it down, and then also,
How much do you think you're all in per person?
Maybe $3,000.
yeah, I'd say $3,000 is the
3?
ceiling. Yeah, and I'm thinking that there's probably even some you could cut off that, but you wouldn't be cutting off much. I think $3,000 comfortably to
Is
get
that
you up there.
airline tickets and everything?
Yeah.
Hunting license?
Yeah, I mean, we also booked ours in like March. Had you planned it out and probably booked it a little sooner, you probably could have saved you some money. If you have an Alaskan Air miles or whatever they are, you can completely save yourself money.
So to break it down, you're probably $700 for hunting
Flights.
license, tags,
Oh, yeah.
fishing
Yeah.
license, and then flights. You're probably $700?
$700. Yeah.
Flights
Yeah.
in our scenario it was $930.
Okay.
Oh, night. Oh,
So
yeah.
you're $1,000. So you're 1,700 there.
Yep.
Approximately. Then your cabin, you're $40 a night.
$40 a
Yeah.
night.
Food, shipping.
we flew food up there.
What's your air cargo shipping? $500.
400.
Yeah,
Yep.
up and back actually.
Okay.
Pretty consistent. Yeah, and then the
Gotcha,
boat
and you're
was
splitting that.
what was the boat?
It was like
$1,200
for,
Yeah,
the,
right.
for
Yeah.
the week. Yeah.
And then just gas and
Just,
And
yeah,
our
that
transport
which
was
included
cool. He
the
gave us-
gas. Yeah,
He gave us the 40 gallons we took out there. He said, pay for what you need or pay for what you use when you get done.
Oh,
So
that's
if we
pretty
were
cool.
taking 50 gallons out, we still only had to pay for 35 gallons,
Gotcha.
yeah.
which is really,
So you're
really
probably
cool.
$3,000, $3,500 somewhere.
Yeah,
in
it's
that
Kind of
neighborhood,
right around there.
which is pretty doable.
yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
Yeah, not bad at all.
It's all logistics. I mean, the tag is $450. That's pretty much what bear tags are, anywhere from $350 to $450 in most of the states. Anyways, your license I think was $150.
Yep.
So you're already at $600, which isn't that bad. You know.
Think you'll do it again?
100%.
Yeah, I would. Alaska is just you can't not go to Alaska. Well, once you're up there, it's not even about being big and having to do it all and having to see it all. It is a different hunting experience where you are pushed into a situation where you are tested nonstop. It's not about mountain stuff. It is a mental state to not get down for not getting a bear, not getting down in the rain, not getting down when you're sick, not being hard on yourself when you don't know how to, watch the time. All of that stuff can ruin it. But you've you would not want to be anywhere else.
Yeah.
That place is special.
Yeah, it
it
does
is.
get in your system, doesn't it?
Yep.
You get up there.
You check out, man.
Yeah,
check out-
that's
I
my
kinda-
favorite thing about it.
Yeah.
I don't even remember like when we just got back, like I said, but most days I didn't even pull my phone out. I was
No.
yeah,
Nope.
just kind of left it in my pocket.
Yep.
Did you ever wet a line? You said fishing stuff.
Yeah, we had one afternoon where we couldn't get down because of the winds. We found like a little channel behind an island. It was like 125, 150 feet. So we bought some bait and some halibut setups, and we just dragged some lines for a little bit.
From what we learned this last week, the trail and I were up there, we did it totally wrong.
Makes sense. Should have used dynamite. Just let them float to the top. We should have probably done crab traps, actually. I think the Dungeness crabs in those channels would have been a little more beneficial.
Beneficial than fishing.
Yeah. But again, that's just part of planning. You figure it out. But there's a lot that we learned. There's some really cool cabins you can do next time. They have a really great blacktail season. And some of the blacktail that we'd seen some of the locals kill were impressive. Yeah. Real impressive. Yeah. And the duck hunting.
Yeah, a lot of
You could plan a cool October hunt. I mean, we saw some awesome awesome animals.
We would see rafts of, 1,000, 1,500 surf scoters just constantly. Just giant rafts of ducks.
Harlequins, all kinds of cool stuff up there. Just like as far as appreciating as hunters or just, environmentalists, biologists, whatever we used to be back in our day. It was just a really cool place, man.
Yeah.
Cool place. So
That's good. Well, we're glad that you safely made it back.
Yeah.
And you killed the big bear.
Definitely. I wish Paul here could have got an opportunity at one, but
I was in Alaska, man. Like it's you got to be there to try. If you're not going to kill them if you're not there, So it's a matter of just planning it out. And
Did you make a stock with your bow?
No. I mean, the day that Whitey and I saw that bear, Whitey went in after it. Not just, hey man, you got to do this one. I'm thinking this is gonna be awesome. There's gonna be plenty of bears on these beaches. We'll figure it out. And as we're going about the day, I'm thinking of the stock. How do I get across these channels? What would be my shot? Going to the trees, does that matter? What would be my average shot? Maybe 60-ish yards, depending on cover. Feeling completely comfortable and confident about the situation. It just never happened.
Never happened.
And I mean, for some people, I think, and if I'm being transparent, you go all the way up there to not fill a tag. I think you can bring that home with you, but why would you want to do that? I mean, that's hunting. You got to enjoy something special in one of the wildest places on the face of this earth with some good dudes. You got to see some of the most elusive wildlife in the world for 7 days. Completely blessed. I would do it again in a heartbeat. If I had to eat the tag to learn what we learned, then I eat the tag.
I think it's just a mindset you have to take with you when you go up there. You have to accept the fact that you're going there for as much of an adventure as you are. I mean, you're not necessarily just going up there to take an animal and bring it home.
Right.
Yeah, I think if your expectations are that if you don't fill your tag, it's a
failed hunt.
Yeah, you're looking at it the wrong way.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's an adventure.
The memories you make and the things you learn, and it's not going to happen anywhere else.
For sure.
And it could
Such
seem
a special place.
It can seem cliche to say all that, like, but you really need to leave your shit behind you to embrace what this place is about to show you, because it is something else. Yeah,
and then sometimes those are my most favorite hunts, the ones you don't take anything because you learn all those lessons from it, and you're in a gorgeous place, and you're putting yourself out there and trying something new.
Yeah.
It happens.
It was comfortable to be just soaking wet and miserable for 5 days. That was a test, man.
I heard you just like standing in the water with your boots sometimes, just getting them soaked. You didn't care.
I wish I knew who that guy was, because that was a badass dude. Who was just, I checked in, man. It was time to go. It was one of those things where you just like, when he got his bear down in the water and we're like, what do we do? I hopped out of the boat and beached that thing. And I think it was probably just adrenaline, really, is what it was.
For sure.
But it was just a matter of you're clocking in. It's time to go to work.
Yeah, do what you got to do.
You do what you got to do. And that was all it was. And that you figure out how to get the boats down to the beach. You figure out how to get the guys out in the boats. You figure out how to have a good time. That's it, man. You're just redlining the whole time. It was great. Miss it every day.
Is it more doable than you thought as far as planning it and executing it?
Yes.
Do you think? I think a lot of people. People ask questions all the time.
It's intimidating.
It is really intimidating. Yeah.
But now that we've gone through it.
Yeah, every trip I've ever done up there, it feels doable.
Yep. I think I was talking to a few folks in the showroom so far. From my experience, I'd say this is something you could save up for, do it, and then you could just pay it down over like 2 years. At that, what we're thinking of like 28 to 3,200 or whatever. So your airfare and cargo and a good group of dudes to help split everything up. You figure out the animals you want to go after. That's your tag allocations. And I even said this is a great example. I didn't get to draw Colorado. I saved $800. Guess what that can go towards? Bear, 2 blacktail tags.
You didn't draw?
Nope.
Oh,
no, I did not. Yeah, the draw odds were wrong. No, I'm just kidding. No, I didn't draw. That's
rigged.
That's all right, because there's opportunity still. There's some good stuff coming up. So, but it's that thing of what do you want to do this year, and where does it fall in your hunt planning season? This was in May.
Yeah,
you got plenty of time to plan out your fall.
Off time of year.
Yeah,
a little off season.
So. Yeah, so completely doable.
And something else is so we like to hunt Montana every year.
We do. Just kidding.
I mean,
yeah. Who's that we? No, I'm just kidding.
People from Montana.
Wow. Let me rephrase this. My friends and I enjoy hunting black bears in Montana every year. It's not that much more money
Yeah.
to go up
To
to
go to
Alaska,
Alaska.
and do and have just a giant adventure hunt. You know, it's.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I still haven't wiped a smile off my face. I dream about it almost every night. It's just a special place.
We were flying back last night, and Cody's fast asleep. We got some dude sitting beside us, and Cody must have been dreaming because he come out of it just flailing.
Really? On the plane?
that was when we were driving.
Chop. He was like,
That was when we were driving.
I'm gonna kill you, Leonard Nimoy.
he came to. Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ready to fight. Yeah, it's pretty good.
So you guys had a good trip.
Great trip.
It was all right.
Good. Good.
What about you
else you
guys?
What about you?
Oh man.
You
Yeah,
literally just you got back this morning.
Yeah, this morning. Yeah,
And here we are podcasting.
1 a.m.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trail and I went back up.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not running on a lot of sleep. Probably like 20 hours maybe since the 29th total.
Yeah.
You guys
I
not
would
giving her.
say. Huh? Yeah,
guys
we've
been
been
giving
going hard in the paint. Yeah, I get back at night, like midnight, maybe eat a little, hang out with some buddies, and talk because it's like a group of guys that don't really ever get together. So we had Chris B, we had Steve Howard from Born and Raised, we had Troy Hellman from SIG, we had cameraman, we had Cody, kid named Damon, which is a great kid, Noah, Justin. So it was a good group of people. And then the captain that we went with, the guy that runs the boat, it's D&G Charters.
Outfit Alaska.
Yeah. So I've been blacktail hunting with those guys before. So Garrett's the guy that owns Captain of the Boat. Is just genuinely one of my very favorite people on the planet. Like sometimes you meet somebody and it's just like, this is somebody that you just really vibe with. And I really love that dude. Good dude. So it was fun, just fun group of people. So, we'd stay up and kind of recap the day and tell hunting stories and swap info and then, go to bed. So it might be like 2:30 in the morning and then you're up at like 5:30 or 6 just because that's where my clock is. And it's getting light. And so you're up and just like looking and glassing and not much sleep. Yeah, pretty tired today.
Wow. Yeah, very tired.
So yeah, but overall good hunt. We had bad weather.
Really?
Rain pretty much every day. I would say going out, we had some big swells.
Can you guys share what part of Alaska you were in? Because we were down in Wrangell.
We went out of Homer.
Out of Homer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so some big swells. Some guys sick on the boat for sure.
Makes for a rough time.
We
Yeah,
were in a
like-
giant, what? How big? How big was it? Like 68 feet?
It's a big boat.
You're sleeping on the boat?
Sleeping on the boat. Yep, great digs.
Great digs.
Great spot. Full kitchen, dining table, kind of a living area. Everybody kind of had their own separate little living quarters. So Cody and I had like our own little living quarters. Two bunks that are kind of tucked in. It's kind of fit together, but everybody kind of had their own room. 2 guys per room. And I say it's a room, but it's like the size of this table. So it's not big, but. Bathroom, had showers on it if you want to use it.
Did Cody shower
Once.
every night and every morning?
Not every night,
once.
but he did shower. He's the only one on the boat that did shower, I should say. Yeah. Nobody
So
else.
that's
Hey,
you don't need to do it every day.
I didn't. I showered once the entire trip.
Oh, I thought you said once a day.
No,
once the
the
entire
trip.
trip.
Proud of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting good.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I did how many days? 7 days no shower on our hunt.
We heard about it, but he went 7 days. Yeah.
I thought about stripping down and showering in all the rain that was going on.
Yeah, you could
Here in the middle of the night, he's like, "Oh, I feel so dirty." And we're like, "Shut up, dude.
Go to bed.
Just go to bed." God, tuck me in.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, we caught some fish, rockfish, halibut, cod. Yeah, bear hunting was kind of slowish, I would say. We would see bears in the morning, so
Oh,
pretty
interesting.
early, and then we would see them right before dark, like 11 o'clock at night.
Really?
We weren't seeing mini bears like midday, but then again, the weather was kind of not the best. Rainy, a lot of wind. It felt like the wind was just constantly shifting and blowing. I hit a bear, didn't find it.
Damn.
I'll just throw it out there.
You're bow hunting.
I was bow hunting. Yep. Troy on the boat killed a good bear with his rifle. We moved areas that night after he killed this bear. Got into probably of all the areas that we looked at, this was the area that like I felt the best about. It's just like instinctually, I'm kind of like, I really feel like this is a spot I could find and kill a bear. We made a play on a bear in the morning, got to 25 yards. Bear was like working right along the edge of the alders, kind of working out. I'm kneeled behind this log, and it's just kind of working away. And I'm like, this is definitely going to happen. The wind was good, and he had maybe 8 feet to clear to the point where I could shoot him broadside, and I just felt like a real good gust of wind at the back of my neck, and like gig was up, and he bailed out of there. And then that afternoon, I had him run us over to this other it's kind of a big tidal grassy flat. It was perfect because we had the wind blowing, towards us. So our scent wasn't blowing across that flat. We had like a little rocky point that we could climb up on and get some elevation. So we've been sitting there about 45 minutes. I look across the cove. There's a bear out feeding. I'm kind of sizing it up. Doesn't look like the biggest bear, but it's a nice bear. So I'm kind of thinking, we'll make a run at it. So I'm getting my gear together, and I look back to my left, and there's a bear kind of working out of the drainage, which I originally thought, like, that's the spot I'm going to see a bear. And it's a nice boar, big boar.
Yeah. You just see his back over the grass.
Just see his back over the grass. But he's kind of down like in a little bit of a creek, and he's maybe 250 yards, I guess, at that point, so pretty close. We bebop down, check the wind. It's good. There's like a bunch of like standing dead kind of out in the flat, and grass is probably knee high. So ditch my pack, and I ended up just kind of belly crawling, and I got to maybe 70 yards. I caught a little bit of movement, and there was another bear between me and that bear. It was a smaller bear, and it was 23 yards. Probably a little sow is what it looked like to me. But I just kind of waited her out, kind of gauge her, hoping the wind would hold. And at one point, like, I felt like it shift just a smidge. So like not blowing directly to her, but just slightly. And I saw her, she kind of picked her head up, took a little check, and then she kind of went back to feeding, but then she trotted over towards the boar, and his demeanor kind of changed a little bit, but they were still kind of feeding. But I ended up belly crawling like another 25 yards, I guess. So get to a point, range him 51 yards, felt real good, real makeable shot. They were kind of acting a little, not like they
weren't sketched out.
Not sketched out. They're not like blowing out of the country, but they're definitely like something's not quite right. So he turned, he kind of fed up behind a tree, and then he turned and kind of walked back out, and he was ever so slightly quartering to, which is a great shot from where he was at. To me, the angle looked perfect. And I'm sure you'll see the video. We'll probably put it out at some point. But Cody's back to my left. And Drew had to let down one time, then redrew. He kind of repositioned, and everything felt great. Shot broke clean. And I don't know, I've looked at the video since we got back, and you can basically see as the bow goes forward, it's just like a cloud of water. It's just water. You can just see water blowing off the bow. And the arrow, as it's going through the air, you can see it's just cutting moisture.
Cutting through all the rain.
Just cutting through the rain. And it looks like to me like it kind of hits, peak. And then at some point, it really looks like it just kind of tanks the arrow. And I don't know. I've not shot enough in the rain. This is like on the to-do list. Next time it rains and I'm at home, I'm going to go out and stand at it and shoot 100 arrows and just over various distances.
Get the bow soaked, get the string soaked.
Yeah, I was talking to these guys on the plane. I'm like, I'm sorely tempted to just go home and fill the bathtub up and throw my bow in there overnight, and then pick it up the next day and go out and shoot 100 arrows and just see what it does. Because everything else felt great, but it looks to me, I looked at the video, and it looks like the arrow just drops in. It's like left to right. I felt okay about it, but it just looks like it drops in low. But he reacts, kind of spins, bites at it, turns, kind of walks up behind the tree, and it looked like I was going to be able to get another arrow in him. Hold an arrow. He just paused for a second, and then he worked up behind this tree. And this big tree, there's like a cliff face that runs behind it. And I'm like watching either right or left of this big tree, and I'm thinking like he's going to bebop out one side or the other. I'll get another crack at him if he comes out at all. Like I'm thinking in my head he's just going to die behind that tree. He never comes out. So I walk back to Cody, kind of rehash, what you see, what I see. And then we walk up to the tree, and I walk up to the tree, and I'm like looking, there's like a little bit of country that I can walk up behind this tree, but then it basically just goes like into ledges. But he straight up. Yeah. He basically went straight up a cliff.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Like I was sitting back on the long lens video and everything, and I see movement like 3/4 of the way up this face. I was like, oh man, I'm going to get an awesome shot of this bear like rolling off this cliff and, hitting the ground. And that didn't happen.
Yeah, he basically went straight up this cliff. So I left Cody at the bottom. Then I went up around and picked my way up on top to where he popped out, and I picked up blood there. I was able to trail it for probably 200 yards, I guess,
Wow.
like hands and knees, just like looking, and it's raining the whole time. And then lost blood, and then I spent like the next 3 hours basically running grids, like as good as I could, probably like every 15 feet, yards, just like working back and forth. And I don't know, I mean, if you've never been to Alaska, I know you'll probably have people that'll listen to this and be like, oh, you didn't look hard enough or whatever. But I'm telling you, the recovery rate on a bear that gets into that stuff, it must dive 50%, I would bet. I'm not shitting you. It is so thick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, impossible jackstraw, dead pines, alder, devil's club.
Oh, God,
I mean, it is unbelievably thick.
Yep.
Like I fought through for 3 hours looking, completely drenched, soaked. I covered every inch that I could possibly think of. And then I was exhausted, was completely drenched. I left Cody down there for a really long time. So I was sure he was probably wondering what's going on. And I was starting to make dumb decisions.
Yeah, that's what you said when
I
you
was
came
putting
back.
myself in proximity to ledges and cliffs and kind of hanging off and working along the edges in a manner that I'm like, I'm at a point where I'm so tired and I'm so just disheveled, like I'm making dumb decisions to the point where I could.
That's what I remember
happen.
distinctly, like you coming back down and saying, like, what if I fell off a cliff and you had to deal with me dead?
Yeah. I was putting myself in very precarious situations, just exploring every possible.
Yeah, you're doing everything you can to recover the
everything
bear.
that I could to recover this bear.
Things that you probably
shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
For sure.
but you're doing your due diligence.
So I had a little sit down, a little moment where I was like, I am exhausted. I just need to probably, and I'm thinking it through. I've shot bears with a bow before. I know that if you hit a bear, if you hit lung, heart, liver, I've never seen a bear shot with a bow in vitals that could have done what this bear did. I'm not saying it's impossible. I don't think that this bear died. But, and I'm not saying that, I genuinely don't, I'm not saying that to like make myself feel better, because I've been like gutted. I've hit, it's been a long time since I hit animals, but like this one really hurt. Like extra.
Yeah.
This
You
one
definitely tell.
This one hurt extra. Like this one took the wind out of my sails.
Do you think it was just because of the process, like how the day broke down, the exhaustion,
I mean, it's a really cool animal, a really special hunt with good people, and to lose an animal, I value the life immensely, and then just the effort that it takes, to put yourself in that position, the people. And then you go back to a boat, and there's people, everybody else is kind of hunting and fishing, and like I had to basically, I quit hunting at that point. Like I didn't hunt the next day.
It's I've got a lot of respect for you. I've known you for a long time, but like gained even more. And you're like, you know what? I drew blood. Like, I could have possibly taken this animal's life. I'm done.
Yeah,
You technically punched your tag.
And I'm not like, I don't have like one, I don't really feel, people hit animals and I think animals live, and, people have kept hunting. I've had that happen before where I knew for a fact the animal, had lived. I saw it days later doing completely fine, and I've hunted. I've known people that have hit animals and, the likelihood of that animal dying and didn't find it and then kept hunting. I don't fault anybody for the decisions they make. It's just like their personal value. And I think every hunt is kind of individual, but for me, yeah, like I was just done hunting. Like I was just done. And I was pretty gutted, and I've been pretty gutted ever since about it. I felt real bad.
they're special animals, man. I think a lot of people overlook them as just something to do in the spring, but they are unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really cool. They're tougher than a $2 steak, but for sure they are special animals. I mean, they have some really interesting mannerisms, the way they handle themselves in nature. Like they they have a long history with us too, as far as like human history and ecology, and that's you know, I think it's respectful, man. I mean, it's kind of sucks that you have to go through that, but it's just the ultimate respect of knowing when you need to draw the line.
Yeah, part of that, I think one of the hardest parts is like I'm just genuinely really disappointed in myself, and there's like, it's not that I can take that back. I can't go back and change it, and I felt like I'd done due diligence. Like, I shoot.
Yeah.
I felt like I took a good shot. I don't feel like I rushed the shot. Like, I've gone back and I've looked at the video, like pulled through, executed a good shot. I remember very clearly in the moment, you know, the shot breaking and feeling good, like I'd done everything. So I can't change that, but I'm just disappointed in myself that I just think of like, I consider myself, I'm better than that. Like, I can do better than that.
Yeah.
I just didn't do it in that moment.
Yep.
And it pisses me off.
I think like we've talked about it, I don't know if you were better than that because we didn't know the effects of shooting.
But I should know. I should know that.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight being what it is, man, it's hard to prepare for what you aren't prepared for. I mean, how do you prepare for it where we live and what we do? We're lower 48 mountain hunter, like we prepare for that. We went to we're the visiting team. I know we went someplace that's just tougher.
I just think like, you know, like at what stage do you quit learning these lessons? Like when do you get it figured?
I don't think you ever quit.
Yeah.
And I just want to be. I want to. I don't know. I look back, and again, it is hindsight. Like hindsight is what it is, and I get that, and you learn from it.
Yeah.
Like I'll learn from this, and I'll be better next year and next time.
Yeah.
I know that. I just hate the fact that like that has to be the case for me to learn a lesson.
But then here's the thing that I'm getting from this, though. Like you said, you're going to soak your bow in your bathtub and go shoot.
Sure.
Or just find the next rainstorm and go outside and soak it and shoot. Like I would, knowing you and the platform we have, podcast, articles on GOHUNT, like to produce a piece of content from that to then help others so they don't have to do the same thing you do. Like if you
That's what we talked about.
If you can do a video series on it, a written article, show your stats, like this is where arrows normally hit, and in the rain I had to give it this extra yardage or do whatever, so you can figure that out to then help people, and then that will be a way maybe you can be like, well, I helped someone. They don't have to go feel the same way I felt. Like that could be a win for you.
Yeah. I mean, first I want to verify and just know, like, is that what happened, or did I just dip out the bottom? You know, because that's a possibility too. The thing with shooting a bow and arrow is it's gray. There's a gray area. It's not black and white. I think you try to make it as much as you possibly can, but it's challenging. Like rifle as well. You know what I mean? But I guess you just do everything that you possibly can, and you know, you hope that it goes you don't hope. I want to know it goes my way. I think that's the thing that's bugging me the most.
Yeah.
I don't want to hope. I want to know.
Right.
Which I felt like I did, and then it didn't happen, and it's just really bugging me.
Yeah.
Like I'm genuinely really tore up over this one.
Yeah.
Like it brought and that's the other thing is I felt really bad because I felt like it just brought the mood of the whole hunt. Just
Interesting.
I try to like distance myself, try to stay positive, try to help the other guys. Like, hey, go out, go for it. You know, let's do this. Let's go fishing. But I just felt like gutted.
Yeah. I got some photos of you the next day just chilling on the boat, and you could just see
couldn't sleep that night.
Your face is just like blanked.
Yeah, I think I went to bed at like 2:30. I tried to sleep. I think I got up at like 5 and just sat out back and drank coffee. I don't know, man. This one really got to me. Really bugged me. Really bothered me. I just expect a lot of myself. I expected better.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was a bummer. Yeah, hopefully I can learn from it and pass some stuff on. But I mean, overall, trip was good people. I mean, if there is one thing I brought home from that, it's just that people are good. I mean, there's so many really good people out there. I love Alaskans. They're like their own breed, their own people. They're incredibly unique and hardy.
Yeah.
And just awesome people. Everybody that I've ever met up there has been so cool. You know, just really good people. And you know, if you're looking for a transport bear hunter fishing trip, I would definitely reach out to Garrett and Des Lambert's their name. They run a phenomenal. That guy runs a tight ship.
Yeah. Like every meal we had was either from the ocean we were on, or from the land around us.
Food was incredible.
I mean, food was absolutely insane.
Yeah, we ate blacktail moose,
mountain goat,
Damn.
yeah,
halibut, salmon, rockfish.
yeah, rockfish.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, the food was incredible. Yeah, the guy works all day. He's got 2 incredible, Levi and Zeke deckhands.
Yep.
Guys work just.
Those are deckhand names too.
Yeah, right? Yeah, and just cool dudes. Just and that was my favorite part.
Yeah.
And a great crew. Steve from Born and Raised is a great dude. Chris B, ton of respect for that guy. I love that guy. Troy's awesome. Just fun group of guys to be around, and good camaraderie, and I take that as a take home. Just good people.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun to have and I didn't. I literally went out of service. I didn't even take a satellite messenger.
I was going to message your satellite.
you had one in
your
I had one,
pouch.
didn't use it.
Didn't use it at all.
Didn't use
That's
it, not
good
one
on
time. Yeah. It was so nice to be disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
Complete. Didn't know what day it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Time
that was
it was.
wild.
Yeah.
Didn't care.
Yep.
That's
That's living.
it
That was
is
definitely
living. It is living. It's I think people need resets like that.
To have the opportunity to do it too is what's really cool. Is a lot of times we see here like, man, I wish this. Go for it. Go do it.
Yeah.
There's the information's there. Plan it out. Go live it. Go experience it. Go learn from it.
It was definitely interesting from my perspective, to come from what Paul and I just did to the full other end of the spectrum of one of these hunts. Mm-hmm. Staying in a forestry cabin and just doing with 2 friends to staying on an insanely amazing boat, having meals cooked for you, having a guy that knew the area and knew where to go and knew all the coves and
For fishing, I mean, you can't.
you can't get any better for fishing.
He didn't tell us. You can't tell anybody hey, go here, go there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's basically just exploring, and you're looking at maps as you're going, and he's like, this looks good. Can I get in there? Yeah, I can take you there.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I want to do it again. I would like him to just run me out and leave me. That's what I'm thinking next time.
Does he do that too? Because can he just do a drop off?
Yep.
Nice.
So my main question is, again, I've never done a coastal black bear hunt. I've always wanted to. So you guys stayed in a big boat. Mm-hmm. Do you have you had smaller boats than you would go out in a day?
A small boat, rubber dinghy with a motor on it. And
So
we
you guys, you two would just go roll?
Yeah, we hunted with Chris the first day.
Damon would roll with us.
Okay.
So we'd spot bears from the boat. We'd say, okay, we see a bear there. And the deckhands had the boat on the little Zodiac skiff thing on the back. And they'd pull it to the side. They piloted the Zodiac to shore. You say, oh, we want to go to this beach. And they say, all right, we'll try and get you there.
Or a lot of times we just had areas that we thought looked good. So we would just have them drop us off, and we would just jump up and walk it. So we went on some hikes. We did a 4-miler the one day.
Yep.
Yeah, we did some brush
Produced
crashing.
absolutely nothing.
No, I did.
Yeah, but still, they got to stretch. I have long legs, man. Sitting in a boat for.
Yeah, one little meadow that we could see off the edge of the river. We had to brush crash for probably an hour and a half, I guess, to get over into it. And popped out. First thing you see is a bear. So there was a bear. I could have shot that bear. It was just a small bear.
Yeah.
But you're just looking for those little inlet, little meadows and stuff. But I mean, hiking through that stuff, it'll take you an hour to go 200 yards in some of it.
Oh shit.
That was rough.
Yeah.
So for you seeing bears where we were and then seeing bears where you guys were, geographically, are the bears different sizes, different things like that, or pretty much just tanks?
They're
just
tanks.
big uns?
Yeah.
We did see some big bears. A lot of bears up high.
Really?
Yeah, there were bears
Yeah,
that, like we were just saying, we didn't even know if Brady would go after these bears. There were
up in
bears,
up in the trees you're talking about?
no, on the tops. Of
Probably 2,000 foot, 1,500 feet.
Because that's
They
what
were
just
in
rises
cliffs
up.
like this.
Yeah.
Straight
One
out
of
of the
the
ocean.
big bear we saw was in cliffs like this, and it was just straight up and down alder thickets the entire way up into this rock cliff.
Huh.
You're like, Jesus,
how
is
go-
that bear even up there?
That's a bear right
Saw a
there.
lot of mountain goats.
Really?
Oh, really? That's cool.
Tons
That's
of
awesome.
goats.
Saw a lot of mountain goats.
They're the coolest thing, man.
Yeah. Overall, great trip though. Sorry to be a downer.
It's not a
I
downer,
just keep
man.
bringing people down everywhere I go.
No, I mean it's kind of, I think the part of the thing of hunting that also keeps us humble. We're never out of reach of those lessons and things that happen even when we're as efficient as you are.
Yeah, I mean, everybody says oh, that's bow hunting. That happens at bow hunting. Well, it's
It's easy to say that when you're not in the situation, though.
I hate that saying. Like, I hate it. I hate when people say it to me. I try not to say it to people,
Yeah.
even though it's happened. I try not to say it to people. And when people say it to me, like, it just lights a fire in my ass.
Yeah.
It just pisses me off because, like, it shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it happens.
Yeah.
I know that it happens. It just shouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good thing I got another 2.5 hour drive here north. I can just sit. I haven't been alone for a while, so it's
Yeah.
good to disconnect, try to work through process some thoughts. But yeah, great trip. I mean, anybody should go up there. Like, I guess if there is a take home for me in this podcast, it would be that just take opportunities when you got them. You just don't know what's going to happen and when. You know, put the money together, go do something cool.
Yep.
Yeah, you only live once, so just if you have an idea, figure out how to make it happen.
Yeah.
Because
Unless you believe in reincarnation.
ever know when you're not going to be able to do it again.
Yeah. Any other famous last words, B-Mills?
No, I would just agree with that. Whenever you get a chance to put yourself in cool places, you just got to go do it. Whatever it takes.
I do have a question since you've been doing all the questions. When are you going to go to Alaska and not hunt moose and do a black bear hunt?
Yeah, because I love bears so much, and it is something I really want to do. I want to do a coastal bear hunt badly.
I've got 2 great spots. I think
I won't go in a cabin. I will not go in a cabin. Sorry, I will not.
That's fine.
I will not. No way.
Would you? So
I'll go. You can set your little teepee up outside of the
I won't
cabin.
do that either. It has to be remote. It has to. I kind of want to be out somewhere.
So would you do?
I just want to be dropped off.
I want to be remote.
Yeah.
I want to do what I need to do. I want to. I'm going to say I like to struggle.
Mm-hmm.
I want that. I
all
cherish that.
Yeah. Yeah. You struggle not to shower. We know that one for sure.
So I want to do one. I want to experience it. I don't really care for the fishing side of it. Like, obviously when I'm there,
Fish is
love
pretty good.
love to catch a fish, but I want to see like all the stuff on the the shore. I want to experience all that, little mussels, little whatever. I want to walk through all that stuff. I want to experience it. I want to experience the smells of the ocean. I love
Taste the salt water.
I'm not a big. You guys know I'm not a big beach guy. But beaches to me, like Oregon coast, Washington coast, like like the rugged beaches, like that's what I'm about, and I think that's Alaska. What I figure too is like that same sort of thing. Like I don't need sandy stuff. I want just cool remoteness, no one around me. I'm taking a rifle though, of course. Like I'm gonna go hang out with a rifle up there. I want to do one soon, so I want to try to start figuring out how to plan it. I haven't drawn an Alaska bear tag, so maybe I gotta look into some OTC stuff. But it's also hard for me to give up the savage bear hunts that I do right now. Like I do love that too, but I know I have to do one or the other, and maybe just don't do what I do for a couple years and save that money and then just roll it into a bear hunt and figure a way to do it. But I want to experience it. I really want to tango with the big black bear, and maybe do.
They're up there.
Yeah, and that's the place to do it too.
Definitely up
Yeah.
there.
This place to do it.
That was one thing that was cool. Their hides are so they're so rich.
Yeah.
Their coats are incredible. I mean, I don't know if it's all the muscles and their diet and everything, but they're just. I mean, I know the big mountain hunts are kind of the thing, but to experience it, at least to say that you did it, whether you like it or you don't, hey, that's fine.
Yeah.
But to say that you did it, because I think Alaska can still offer you some savage ass hunts, because those bears can end up moving up into this like the alpine areas and doing the dandelions. When the brown bears might move down and start to push them out, they move up, and it can create probably a really, really cool opportunity. Like you said, just got to find the area and do what you got to do. But
And like I said, like the fishing, sure, I'd maybe like to catch a fish or two, but I think what would be cooler is like whatever crabs and all that stuff. I think that'd be very unique. Like doing something like that when I'm up there as well. But
even if you do like you take a pack rod, you can do Dolly Varden and some other cool stuff and some of the stream systems and do what you got to do there. But yeah, the crabbing side of things would have been pretty cool, but I think you'd have to do a boat. You'd have to stay at some point to, you're going to have to,
Yeah.
But
Well, good. Anything else? Anybody else? Any last words from you two?
Take advantage of opportunities when you have them.
you don't have them, create them.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing too, is sometimes we get complacent and all this stuff and we boo-hoo about what we don't get and all this other stuff. If you want to do something different, you're the only person holding yourself back. Go for it. Because there are some special places that we get to hunt, and it'd be a damn shame if you go this whole life, you don't get to see some of them.
Yeah.
Whether positive or negative, some of the most beautiful experiences are just one step in front of the other. Yeah.
Love that.
Yep.
Great spot to wrap up. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you guys.
Next one.